Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on my channel. My first video of 2023 and my first video in almost a year. Now you may be wondering where I have been the last sort of 10 months. Well, to be honest with you, I don't really have an excuse. I've just not felt the motivation for YouTube last year, and all of a sudden it's come back. So I thought, why not pump out some videos? I've had a lot happen this year. I've met lots of people from the show, which I thought this is why it'd be fitting to do an updated autograph collection, as well, it has tripled, I'd say, since my last autograph collection in mid-2021. And yes, so when I suggested my return to YouTube, to Who Stuff, which was an old YouTube channel, they had this to say, which I thought was very lovely. And to be honest with you, this is what motivated me most to return to YouTube, was their comments. So I thought, brilliant, let's do it, and here I am. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. So here I have this massive booklet which contains all my autographs and photo shoots with Doctor Who actors if I've ever had them. So I'll give you a bit of a preview there. So you can see sort of John Leeson's on the left and our photo on the right. But I think I'm going to save that till last because it is the most exciting and it is where I've got most of my autographs. So do stick around to the end to see that. But I think a good place to start would be the DVDs that I've acquired over the years. So Doctor Who DVDs with signatures on the front. And I'm going to do them in no particular order. So I'm going to start off with this one, which is the Ice Warriors, signed by Wendy Gifford. So Wendy Gifford actually played, oh my god, this is awkward, I don't actually remember the character's name. It might be on the back. No, it's not. But she was in this story as sort of like a female leader. It's been a while since I've watched this story, to be honest. Oh, here we go. Miss Garrett. She played a character called Miss Garrett. And she's lovely. She's 90 now, I believe. So she was getting on a bit. But she was very nice to meet. I met her at Phantom in last February. So almost a year ago. Then we've got The Invasion. And you may be wondering, well, where's the signature? I met Sally Faulkner from this story. And she signed it on the back. Which was slightly annoying. But hey, you know, what can you do? But yeah, she played Isabel. Brilliant character from this story. I love this story so much, and she was just a highlight of it. She was the photographer that took photos of Zoe and stuff and just followed them around the story. And yeah, she was absolutely lovely to meet. She doesn't look her age at all. She's really good for her age. This is Yazan Churchman. You can sort of see the autograph at the top there. To Sebastian, best wishes from Yazan Churchman. I didn't meet her, but she's a friend of a friend who did meet her and got these autographs for me. And she also signed Monster of Peladon, where it is, here it is, to my dad, Graham, at the top. Yeah, lovely lady. I think she's the oldest living actor. Oldest living female actor from the show, which is quite cool. And then we've got Planet of the Daleks, which is signed by Jane Howe, and she played Rebek in this story, and she was absolutely lovely to me. Also met her last February. There's no photos of her on the back. But yeah, she was absolutely lovely. Then this one's quite cool. Pyramids of Mars, signed by Gabriel Wolfe, who played the voice of Sutek. Again, he's getting on. I think he's in his 90s now as well. But he was a delight to meet. We spoke about sort of Tom Baker and just the story as a whole. And he's done some big finish as well. But yeah, really lovely man. This is quite cool. Ghostlight, signed by Sophie Aldred. I got this done about 10 years ago, but I've got about 20 Sophie Aldred autographs. That's a bit of a tongue twister. No, I don't have 20. I probably have about 8. One of them's here, but I'll show you that later. Yeah, that's cool. Then we've got The Visitation, which is signed by Eric Sayward. There we go. Nice guy to me. He didn't say anything to me, actually. But hey, you know, it's nice to meet him, and got his autograph, which is pretty cool. And I love the cover and the visitation. It's just so cool. But those are the DVDs. Now, I've also got this, which is my autograph booklet, which I showed at the start, which has just plain autographs in it. I've stopped using this now, but the first sort of batch of my autographs were from here, so I'll go through them. But these are quite old. So the first one is Sophie Aldred, which I got, again, about 10 years ago, so it's probably my first ever autograph ever. But she was a delight to meet. She always is. Sophie Aldred, can never top her, to be honest. And then we've got Bonnie Langford, who I met at the 50th event in 10 years ago now. So I'd say 60 years ago, but that's about the show, isn't it? Never met Bonnie since, and I'd love to get a print of Bonnie, but she was lovely. Then we've got, again, another Yazan Churchman one, but it's like a little postcard of her, which is nice. Yeah. Then this is a great one. I was really chuffed with this. I met Sylvester McCoy at Coventry Comic Con in 2017. And yeah, really happy with that. To Sebastian, good luck, Sylvester McCoy. I have met Sylvester since, and I have got a print of him, which is good. Then we've got, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Martha's mum in series 3. I think it's I don't even want to try, but that's her autograph there. And on the back of that, you've got an actress called Lorelei King, which you can just, it's kind of hard to show without breaking the paper. Again, I got them done by a friend of a friend who knows them. Then we've got Lisa Greenwood, who played Flip in Big Finish. I sent some fan mail to her, and I got this back, as well as a little letter, which I might as well show you now, to be honest. I did this about 4 years ago, so she sent me this little card. I have shown this on the channel before, and she said that, so that was very nice of her. But yeah, I'd like to meet her in person one day, because she's lovely. Then we've got Christopher Ryan, to Sebastian Sontaha from General Style, and all best wishes from Christopher Ryan. He played, well, General Style, and he played Kiv in Mind Warp, I believe. Then we've got another brilliant one to meet, Richard Franklin, to Sebastian, best wishes, Captain Mike Yates. And then he put Fancy a Dance Brigadier at the bottom. Again, really lovely guy to meet. I'd love to meet him again, so I can get a print of him. I believe he's in hospital recently, so I hope he's okay. But then we've got Simon Williams, who played, what was his name? Someone in Remembrance of the Daleks. It's like the captain guy. I'll put a photo of him to help you remember. But he was good. He was lovely to meet. Really nice guy. And then lastly, in this little book, we've got Morgan Deere, who played Hawk in Delta and the Bannermen, one of the American guys. I love that story, and I thought it was nice to meet him. So yeah, he was really nice guy. And that is that for the autograph booklet. And I'm just going to talk to you about the front of it. So Bonnie Langford actually drew that carrot. I know, I can't really say anything more. And Sophie Aldred drew the Nitro 9, which you can see there. So I got Ace and Mel to draw on the front of my booklet, which I thought was quite cool. It's a good idea, actually. I don't know why I stopped doing that. But yeah, that's a nice little thing to show. Then we've got some odds and bobs before I get on to the main autograph booklet. So we've got this little postcard to Sebastian, love Sophie Aldred, which came about 10 years ago in some fan mail. That was nice. Then we've got a Big Finish, also signed by Lorelei King, who I mentioned earlier. You can just see the autograph at the top right there. It's a bit faint, but brilliant Big Finish. As a side note, one of my favourites. Definitely get that one. Got some books now. So we've got Geoffrey Beevers, One Man in His Time. I got this about 2 weeks ago when I met him, and he signed it on the inside to me and my dad, to Sebastian and Graham. Best wishes, Geoffrey Beevers. Then we've got Festival of Death, which is signed by Jonathan Morris. If I open it inside, there it is. You can see it there. Sebastian, best wishes, Jonathan Morris. I sent him some fan mail about how much I loved his work, and he sent that back, which I thought was very nice. Then we've got this massive Target book, one of, you know, pride and joy of my collection, really, an amazing book. I've got this for £25 at Coventry Comic Con about 5 years ago. And yes, here's the signature. It's signed by the author David J. Howe, and that was brilliant. And the autograph didn't actually cost anything. He just signed it for free, which I thought was very, very nice of him. And then lastly, another Sophie Aldred autograph of this lovely print. I made this when I was like 8 years old, or 7 even, and I got her to sign it, so I thought that was quite cool. And she liked that picture of her, but she said she'd never seen it before, which I find quite hard to believe because it's quite a common Ace photo. And then, just while we're here, this is another Ace autograph. I really like this one, to Sebastian with my love, Sophie Aldred. I love that photo of her, and I really like that autograph. And then if you go up here, you've got Colin Baker's autograph when I met him in 2019. I'd love to meet him again to get another print, but I really love that photo of him. He was a delight to meet, he always is. But yeah. Right, now we're moving on to the real interesting, well, they're all interesting, but the bulk of my collection. And I've picked up most of these autographs and photos from Phantom Events in Chiswick. They do brilliant little events, and I love going to them. So the first one, we're going to sort of go in chronological order, sorry, not alphabetical, of when they appeared in the show. So I think it only is fitting to start with Carol Ann Ford, who I met in August of 22, and she was absolutely lovely. We had a good chat. She said that I've got the same name as her grandson, which was interesting. But yeah, she was lovely. And I got a nice photo with her, which I will show you now. There you go. I did post these on my social media when I went to the event, but just in case you don't follow me on there. Then I met on the same day Waris Hussein. He was lovely. He didn't say much, but I think he had had a stroke recently, so he didn't look very well, bless him. But again, really lovely to meet him, the first sort of director. Really, really happy with that. And here is my photo with Waris as well. Again, that was lovely. Then we've got Maureen O'Brien, who obviously played Vicky. I love that print of her. Again, she was lovely to meet. She was a fellow left-handed person, which very cool. And then I did get I got a joint photo of her actually, her and Wendy Padbury, who we'll get to in a minute. But I met them September 21 when my hair was a lot longer, and I was a lot skinnier. But yeah, there's Maureen on the right and Wendy Padbury on the left. And obviously that was during sort of COVID times, so it's all a bit distanced. Then I met Peter Purves. Again, lovely, absolutely adore that photo of him in Hartnell, one of my favourites ever. And I love that he signed it in gold pen as well. Just brilliant, really, really lovely. He was lovely to meet as well. And then again, I got a photo of him, socially distanced. Yes, that was in November, and it was absolutely freezing that day. But yeah, I really like that photo of us. And then I've met Roberta Tovey, who played Little Susan in the Dalek movies. Again, absolutely love that print of her. So colourful and vibrant, and I just love the Cushing movies as a whole, so it was really lovely to meet her. We had a good chat about the Cushing movies and the impact they've had on everyone, because they're brilliant. And then I've got a lovely photo of her as well. She was quite small and I'm quite tall, so that's quite funny, our height difference. But yeah, she was really lovely to meet. And then going back to Wendy Padbury now, there she is. That's the autograph I got from her. To Sebastian, love Wendy Padbury, Zoe. I love it when they sign their sort of character names. That's very nice. And I love that print of her, just the simple black and white one from The Mind Robber. This one is very interesting now. To Sebastian, best wishes, Jane Sherwin, who played Lady Jennifer in the War Games. Sadly, as of filming this video, she actually passed away yesterday, which is very sad. So yeah, the only actor I've met from the show who has now died. But she was absolutely lovely. We spoke about John Pertwee, of all things, and I just remember her asking how old I was. I think I was the same age as her grandson. So yeah, very sad that she's now no longer with us. But she was absolutely lovely to meet. And when I did meet Jane Sherwin, I also got her poetry booklet, which I'll find now. Here it is, Ode to Odieux by Jane Sherwin. She was a poet as well, so there's lots of her poems in here which she's written, and she also kindly signed it to Sebastian Love Jane Sherwin. So yeah, has a lot more meaning now, but she was lovely to meet. Moving on, we've got the absolutely amazing Katie Manning. Sebastian, big hugs, Katie Manning. Love that photo of her and Pertwee. Absolute delight to meet. If you ever get the opportunity to meet Katie, always do, because she is just a bundle of joy. And there's our photo together. Happy as Larry, as you can tell, giving me a big hug. Oops. Then I've met Michael Kilgareth, who played various roles in Classic Who, most notably the K1 robot and the cyber leader in Tomb of the Cybermen. He was very nice to meet. Didn't get a photo with him, however. That was a few years ago now. Then I've met the lovely Louise Jameson, again at the 50th, so coming up to 10 years ago. She was absolutely lovely. I'd love to meet her again for a photo, but she signed this brilliant print of Talons of Weng-Chiang, my favourite story of all time. Then we've got John Leeson, who I met just a couple of weeks ago. He was absolutely lovely. Sebastian Tailwags from K9, John Leeson. Again, really nice guy. Spoke about sort of the impacts that, 45 years ago, it's still going on today. And there's our photo. Yes, very nice. No longer socially distanced, obviously. But he was lovely. Then I've met Guy Steiner from Allo Allo. He was also in Genesis of the Daleks as one of the sort of Nazi people. Hello, Sebastian and Graham. Best wishes, Guy Steiner. He was lovely. I met him in Coventry in May. So that was nice. And again, Julian Glover. Absolutely brilliant. So lovely to meet Sebastian Julian Glover. I chose a James Bond print rather than a sort of City of Death one, because I don't really like City of Death, and I thought his portrayal in For Your Eyes Only was brilliant. So I got him to sign a James Bondy one, but again, really nice guy. Then I've met Geoffrey Beavers, again, just a couple of weeks ago. He was absolutely lovely. He's signed his book, which I showed you earlier. Very nice. To Sebastian, best wishes, Geoffrey Beavers. And I've got a nice photo with him as well, which is here. Really nice guy. Again, it was freezing on that day. We've had a really cold winter this year. But that was nice. Moving on, we've got Sarah Sutton, who obviously plays Nyssa. Really lovely to meet again. To Graham and Sebastian, best wishes, Sarah Sutton. Yeah, really love that photo of her as well. One of my favourite classic companions, probably. And here is my photo of Sarah Sutton, also at a Phantom event, but it was outside and it was very nice. That's sort of like the outdoor photo shoots. Socially distanced, of course. We sort of both in white. I think we were sort of colour coordinating that day, which is a bit weird. Then I've met Janet Fielding. Again, an absolute delight to meet. For Sebastian, be happy, Janet Fielding Tegan. Love that autograph, love that print. Just really happy. She was obviously lovely. And here's our photo together. You can sort of tell I've met most of them during COVID, which is quite ironic, really. But hey. And then, most recently, again, 2 weeks ago, the brilliant Mark Strickson. To Sebastian, good to meet you, Mark Strickson Turlo. Again, he was really lovely to meet. He doesn't do many UK signings, so a rare opportunity as well. Sadly, he was only, I think he lives in New Zealand or Australia, but unfortunately he was only in the UK because his dad is dying, which was a bit morbid. That sort of killed that conversation, but Yes, we had a good chat about many things. And then that's our photo together. Really lovely photo. The only sort of one where I'm ever posing, actually. He's got his little thing from the Black Guardian trilogy where he's sort of under the curse of the Black Guardian. But yeah, really happy with that photo shoot. Next, I have met Michael Jaston, the Valyard. I've met him twice, actually. Twice in the space of a year. So that's the first autograph that I got from him. And then I met him again in Coventry. That's the photo we got, and he's actually signed the photo at the top to Sebastian, Michael Jaston. Really lovely guy. Getting on a bit now. He's just so down to earth and genuine, and he's just lovely. He looks a bit moody there, but I can promise you he was really, really lovely. Here we go. This is one of my favourite autographs ever. Sylvester McCoy. Really sharp, clear photo for 1988. But Sebastian, good luck, Sylvester McCoy. My favourite Doctor, if you haven't worked out already. Just an absolute pleasure to meet. Met him twice now. The only sort of photo I've got with him is from 2017 when I looked like that. Yes, and that's with Sophie Aldred as well, obviously. Interesting hairstyle from me. But hey ho. Then we've got Sophie Aldred again, believe it or not, with this lovely print from Silver Nemesis. Not sure even when I got this, but I've met her so many times I can't really keep up anymore. And then this is a letter she sent to me in summer 2011, which seems like a long time ago. And she sort of wrote it, and then she wrote a little bit at the bottom as well. Sadly, it's fading now, so it's good to get it on camera before it does completely go. But yeah, that was really cool. And then we got Vilil Shilabala from The Next Doctor. She was absolutely lovely to meet, genuinely one of the nicest people I've ever met. Just so lovely. I did get a photo with her. It's on my phone, but I look so bad in it, I'm not going to show you. Then we've got Vicky Alcock from Planet of the Dead. She was lovely. She played that character there. It was quite funny. So at the Phantom event 2 weeks ago, they actually sort of had more people from Planet of the Dead. They had, I don't know their names. This guy next to Vicky, the youngish guy, and then the woman on the bus. This sort of who could tell into the future. He will knock 4 times. That woman. She was there, and I was going to get them to sign this as well, but unfortunately I didn't have the money. But it would have been cool to have like a Planet of the Dead collection in one autograph, if you know what I mean. And then we've got, to Sebastian and Graham, Buckets of Love, Joseph Milson from Sarah Jane Adventures, played Maria's dad. My dad really likes this character, so we met him. But he was lovely, really nice guy, genuinely. Gave us some secret behind the scenes info about Sarah Jane, which we found quite interesting, which I don't know if I'm allowed to share with you, so I'm not going to. Jonathan Morris, again, this is the letter he responded with when I sent him his fan mail. Pretty cool. And last but not least, for the Doctor Who side of things, is John Bishop, who I met in my hometown when he was touring, and he was an absolute pleasure to meet. We waited quite a few hours for him to show up, me and my dad, and he stopped and chatted, and he was just so lovely. I have made a whole video on my video with meeting John Bishop, so go and check that out. I believe it's from October 2021, so just over a year ago, and he was so lovely. And then 2 final autographs I want to show you for this video is James Bond, to Sebastian, Martine Bezic, who played Paula Kaplan in Thunderball. There she is with Sean Connery in 1965 or 4 or whatever it was. Really lovely to meet. And then last but not least, Marianne Dabo from The Living Daylights. I know this is a Doctor Who autograph collection, but I thought I might as well just slip these in as well. Yeah, she was nice to meet as well. And there we have it. Whew. Well, I want to thank you all for watching this video. It's, 25 minutes. I've managed to cram it all in, and I know it was going to be a big video. I was considering breaking it into 2 parts, but I thought I might as well just... Oh dear, that's slipped. But yeah. So yeah, like I said, thank you very much for watching this video. I don't know how long I'll be returning to YouTube for. I'm going to film some videos and get them out in January. My birthday is coming up and it's a big one, so I might be getting some Doctor Who gifts then, but we will see. My target book collection is almost complete. I've only got 1 more to get, so once I get that last one, which is The Wheel in Space, I will be doing a complete target book collection video. So stay tuned for whenever I get that. I don't know if it'll be anytime soon, to be honest with you. But yes, thank you very much for watching. Please do stick around, comment, like, subscribe, blah 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 blah. And I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Bye for now.